All right, hello everybody, welcome back. So I think this is going to be our, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh video for my little channel. So let's jump into another. Uh, well, I guess we know what we're taking. I'm not sure what you're supposed to take if you're, in like a Pro Tour or if you're playing a PTQ. I still think History of Benalia, I mean, it's just a value engine. It is double white, so unless you're in a heavy white deck, you can't really cast this, but come on. Let's take a look. That's all right. It's like $8. It's like 8 tickets. By the way, it's funny when the buy price is higher than the sell price. That's an arbitrage opportunity right there. That's for all you fans of finance. So I really apologize in advance. I have a nasty cold. I just got back from Russia after spending about a month there, and it is freaking freezing in Russia, even in the summertime. It's like a print screen. Anything else? Time of Ice. I'd rather be like aggressive red white than blue white. Blue white is more flyers, and Time of Ice doesn't really go into every deck, whereas Sheevan Fire goes into pretty much any red deck. And of course, it's especially good in the kicker deck. One thing I'm going to try to do with these drafts, I've been doing it and I'm going to continue to do it, and you may notice it sometimes, is if there's nothing happening, I'm going to hit pause to kind of balance out my, sometimes nonsensical rambling with saving you time, not having to watch, this stupid 15-second countdown timer until somebody makes a pick. So, is whenever you're watching um, draft videos, or I mean, this applies to any videos. You could always consider, using the speed function in YouTube and watch it like 1.25, 1.5, 2 times speed. And of course, I'm going to sound like a chipmunk if you do that. But when I'm watching, I mean, I do that for virtually all YouTube videos unless I'm listening to music. I just find that you can kind of compact a lot more into information into a shorter period of time. So here it's Fight with Fire. We're passing a second eviscerate, so we want to avoid black because we're sending a super strong signal that black is open. So I think if we try to go black at any point in this draft, it could be a mistake. We're also passing a really good green card with Wild Onslaught and Grow from the Ashes. Right? And we can always go back and review. I think if to my, let's see, yeah, to my left, if you took those, I mean, I don't know. Well, let's see realistically what would the players that are left of us taken out of this pack? Either Blessed Light or Eviscerate, and it's a close pick. It depends on what your color preference is. Personally, I would pick Blessed Light. Instant Speed is a much stronger effect, always. So now, it's too early to take a dub. I think I'm just going to take a Short Sword. Adamant Will is good, but we're not getting any clear signals. Bailout Null is not anything really special. To some extent, that's kind of just like a filler creature for green. So I'm going to dedicated red-white equipment deck. Then I want to have cards like Short Sword. All right, Call the Cavalry, definitely. This is a signal that white is open. There's also a Mesa Unicorn, but this is just a more powerful effect. And these are knights. They go very well with history of benalia. So curving benalia into call the cavalry is very good. And the thing I really want for Christmas now, first of all, I want to wheel this Kelvin Overseer because I found that in aggro decks, he's a very decent finisher, but only in aggro decks. The only other exception is if you have Tetsuko. He's a 3/1 unblockable. But now I really want Pegasus Course. Doesn't seem like well, we shouldn't say that nobody's white that's been passing to us. Like pick five, lower probability, I should say. So now I guess it's Sarah Disciple. We could also consider like what else? There's really, I mean, we could take a Kelvin Overseer, but I think if we can get Quende, then we can do something with this guy. And he does, the 1/1 first strike is not a random effect. For example, he deals with like the 3/1 puts out of. So black may be open because this Memorial to Folly, it's a good card, and black is something we should keep an eye on. And for that reason, I'm going to try to stay open. Blood Talent. I don't think I can pass that, can I? That should not be in the pack. Why is this in the pack? I don't think people understand like how important a component Grow from the Ashes is in virtually like any green limited deck. This is just it's incredible value. I mean the fact that these lands don't come into play tapped. So you just need 5 mana, but at that point you're only using 3 mana and you're drawing 2 lands. Um, it enables splashing. It enables so much. It doesn't mean that we're green by any means, but there's nothing on that pack that I guess a radiating lightning, maybe a soul salvage, but I value this very highly. So here, there's really nothing. I'm gonna kind of hedge into black and take a soul salvage. The only time I would put this in my deck is if I get siege siege gang commander. I think is the card. There's nothing else I would play. There's an off chance it's a rare phantom. Yeah, I mean we could, we even fire, maybe even fight with fire. Even though you really need 2 mountains to make this work. So Warlord's Fury. More as I draft this format, it's two things. One, up 3-0 decks, and then you end up being just destroyed. Usually, like in previous formats, like I'm playing Kaladesh, I'm playing Shadows over Innistrad, Amonkhet, you name it. All those formats, like you kind of know where your deck is. Here, it's like I have no clue. But yeah, we're not passing Joseph S. Yeah, that's a bomb. Even as a format of 4/5 menace, it's just a stupid, incredibly mana efficient body. He's a knight, zombie knight, but a knight nonetheless. A second fight with fire and a second Shivan fire, it's very good, but we're having a bit of a identity crisis. All right, give me a second. All right, so I think I'm going to take a Shivan Fire. We don't know for red, but this is something we can splash. And this is double whirler. Tough pick. Okay, so honestly, I think we just want to triumph of Garage here because we're not even sure about these three red cards and picking a triple red card when there's something here for our deck. Like this thing, you could even start throwing stupid +1/+1 counters on Sarah Disciple. It becomes like a 3/3 flyer. It's not, I wouldn't say this is a good card, but I think trying to splash red, not fight with fire, but just these two if we get a Skittering Surveyor. We're not getting any green, so it looks like Growth from the Ashes is not happening, and you never want to splash the color. I mean, you never want your card that enables your splash to be the card you're splashing. That's just kind of that's suicide. So this guy's not a knight; he's a soldier. But this chronicler, man, this is so tough. I mean, bringing back Shivan Fires is good. So does that mean that we now abandon black? We just took a white card. We just took a white card. We passed fight with fire, and now we're going to take it to chronicler. We also have 4 creatures, by the way. Okay, 5 with call the cavalry. So these, this is like much harder than an average draft, but I don't think I can pass this guy. Like draft is kind of looking like a bit like a trade rack because now white's not open. So now we may even need to consider like black red as a possibility. Yeah, we didn't see too much white. We saw white in the first half of pack one, but now that I'm looking at it, maybe black red is the answer. Black red. And that's kind of got like a graveyard theme going. Of course, like War Chief is a dead card. We don't I don't want to prioritize the start for cards like Lingering Factum. I would like another Chronicler, but I think I'm just going to take a Deathland Tower because black is a, like if this is a signal to move away from red, then that's what we just need to do. Oh, sorry. I mean white. Yeah. So this is a signal that we need to move away from white. Skin, which I'm happy with. So I'm short on playable creatures, so for that reason, I'm going to take Hardic Wonder. Here, I definitely don't want a runner. It's only good in Wizards. I think Lightning is more important than a Dark Bargain. Part of the problem is that we made 4 important white picks where we essentially, I mean, that's a pick we're giving up. But let's hope we don't. Short Sword is looking a bit out of place, as is Blood Tallow Candle with all this other removal. So it's funny, but with Josuves, I may even consider playing like a Power Stone Shard because right now this is our only win con. There's nothing else in here. Like what is our deck doing? We're not doing damage with Chronicler and Skin Witch. Um, I mean, War Chief is just awful. Radiating Lightning may end up doing nothing. Warlord Fury doesn't do anything for us. So at this point, this deck is like very close to being a trade rack. I think it's just a question of if we're right, like black red is going to be super open pack 3, and we're just going to be getting all the goodies. Like But yeah, there's obviously Moses clutches here. And again, the one thing that's going to bite us in the butt right now is the fact that we passed two eviscerates in pack one. So so I think we need to focus more on red than black. But very happy with Varix. I mean, the laying over voice on top. And I know I've had these weird calls on cards we're getting it in other videos. But here I said we're going to get it like pack two or pack, pick two or three, which I've seen. Because it's double red, it's not something you can splash. So if the players to our right, oh Sarah Angel, yeah, this pack just makes me sad. So am I running a Journey Mage in a red black deck? Is that where we are? So if I take a Sarah Angel, what can happen? I think we need to just be disciplined here. I think we kind of made our bed and we need to lay in it now. So if this is the best that we're getting, then we just need to go with it. I mean, what's the only other option is like another five drop, but like okay, with two Shivan Fires, a short Fire Fist, Urgoros, or Chronicler. So Caligo Skinwitch is actually a wizard, as is Chronicler and Journey Mage. So this would be our fourth one. Uh, I know Mox Hammer is worth tickets, but that's not what this is about. Urgoros is good, but I think a Chronicler or a Fire Fist Adept is more important for our deck. Which is going to be another one to where it's going to do like fungal infection splash white. So it was correct to not take that Sarah Angel because I mean we're taking a vicious offering here and we need to make cuts over Glider. We don't have any synergies with Glider outside of Lingering Phantom, and this card is just very good. So I need Demonic Vigor. Obviously, like sometimes this card is good if you have the 3/2 red legend that creates elementals every turn. It triggers that and it keeps it alive. It's good in the card like Flying Foot if you have a controlling black deck. I guess I'll take a Keldon Warcaller. Need as many two drops as possible to hold back our opponent. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. Howling Golem, room for it. Two Radiant Lightnings already. I guess I'll actually Omnivore is good with two fungal infections. Infections. Omnivore is so the black. Oh, that's something to keep in mind. Fungal infection, I mean, it's something that even Gitsu Chronicler can bring back. Unfortunately, we did not wheel a second one, and this deck really could have used a second one. So some of the cards that are out of place here are actually Lingering Phantom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think that's enough. I think I'm better off having like a random, or not random. I'm better off having like Dark Bargain in this deck. All right, so I think now the build is down to whether we want this Valid Omnivore and 2 fungal infections, or something like this with Lingering Phantom over the Feral Abomination. Now, if we add Howling Golem, which I think we should because we have a Fight with Fire and a Varix, so with these super strong cards, I think we're better off drawing a ton of cards on average because we're going to want to get to 9 mana more often than our opponents will want to get to 9 mana, and also 10 mana with Joseph S. So that's one reason to bring in Howling Golem. Often, it's just bad because you could be in a situation where your opponent is like mana screwed, and you don't want him drawing cards, but this is the only thing you have on the table and nothing else. So what are you supposed to do in that case? So some other options like 12 creatures. I'm really not going to count fungal infection as a creature. 1/1's not really. Even 2/2s don't really do much in this format, much less a 1/1. Covenant Overseer is not what this deck is looking for. This is not an aggro deck. This is some like weird red-black early game control, early mid-game control, late game just, kick Josu or Varix or Fight with Fire. I think that's what this deck is trying to do. And also getting some value off Chronicler. So I think given that we only have 12 creatures, I think we need another creature in this deck. I don't want to play Omnivore unless I'm playing 2 fungal infections, and I'm not sure how to make room for it. I'd have to get something like a short sword, which I guess I could, because I mean, Lingering Phantom on its own is really not. It's not a good card by any means. It's just that we're so stretched for playables, and we're so stretched for a strategy. We need to get something going. And Lingering Phantom, I mean, for lack of any other better options, is one way to do it. It's kind of a non-mo with Soul Salvage because it'll feel terrible bringing this card back with Soul Salvage. But with the Dark Bargain and, with cards that want to trade and come back like Deathloop Ballad, even the Skin Witch, like you could chump with a Skin Witch, bring it back later with Soul Salvage and kick it to make your opponent discard. Bringing back Joseph S. Varix, it's very good. So, yeah, I need a minute. All right, so I think this is the build. So what I did is I took out Fire Elemental, which is only good if you have like Run Amok, then it becomes a 8/7 trample. Otherwise, it's just it's gonna kill a Sapperling once a turn until your opponent's line flood just drains you. So that makes room for 2 fungal infections, and 2 fungal infections justify Valid Omnivore. And I mentioned this in my previous videos, but the way this works is, so let's say your opponent is attacking with like a 6/6. You can give it -1/-1 with the fungal infection, and then basically trade like Valid Omnivore and a fungal infection for a 6/6, or you could outright just eat a 5/5 with a 1 mana spell and gain 2 life in the process. So with 2 of these, I guess you could kind of count them as like almost 1 creature. Okay, 1 creature, whatever. That's 13. And yeah, and now the problem is that Soul Salvage is looking a bit awkward because with Soul Salvage you want to have a lot of creatures, but I'm not sure if we can do better here because the alternative is putting in like a Feral Abomination, and our top end is already pretty significant. I don't think we need it, and there's nothing else Yeah, Goblin War Chiefs and Cabal of Angels just aren't going to do it. But we want to. There's going to be plenty of games where we want to just get Varys down on turn 4. So I guess 9-8 is decent. So let's go to game 1. All right, so this is a keep. Uh, Hoping to draw something more reasonable, but yeah, I mean, Chronicler brings back Shield and Fire, so I see no reason. You see a turn to have Water Elves to help him, and it turn 2, especially because we have Dead Bloom talent. All right, so let's go. Yeah, like I say, uh, in hand. Let's put Joseph S in hand. Pulled anything better. These are like the two best cards in our deck, and we threw out like a land. So next turn, the point. Our opponent's 7 life, and we're going to kick Varix next turn. what's it called? The White Legend, Urza's freaking whatever destruction. Forget. So um, yeah, I'm just gonna go for lethal. All right. So green, white, go wide. I think radiating lightning is going to be good. Lawnmower elves is at least one target that we saw. Question is, what do we take out? I guess dark bargain becomes worse if we're on the defensive. Most likely, my opponent is going to put me on the draw. And a ramp deck, a green-white ramp deck could be off to a very fast start. So this 2 points of damage may become relevant to where it makes sense to sideboard it out in favor of more, uh, a card that can actually impact the board and not do damage to you. Almost hit the wrong X there. By the way, I mentioned good sportsmanship. Like you're clearly winning, you know, uh, whatever game two of three, and there's like 13 minutes left on the clock, and instead of just conceding, opponent lets the clock run down just to waste your time. So that tends to really bother the hell out of me. Most likely going to become a 2-2. He's going to let me draw lands. He's going to let me make sure I hit I hit my land drops. And this guy significantly increases the probability of you getting Joseph Vess, uh, even call the cavalry. I guess I'll play. I guess I'll again. I'll I could like if I triple block, I could get 3 for 1 if my opponent has Gift of Growth. So that would be a 7/7. Ah, no, it would only be a 2 for 1 still. 8/8, yeah, it would be yeah 8/8 would be a 2 for 1. So one of these guys would live. So seems pretty good. So I'm really I don't know. I guess maybe our opponent didn't think that we would just triple block, but you know why am I running out unkicked 1/3 skin with? So that's okay because next turn I go Lingering Phantom. We kill it. By the way, please, like, what's the point of? Let's say I have a trick in my hand. I can triple block and I could go, some whatever, some trick, some instant effect. There's no point to tapping your lands and casting something to let me know that you're attacking without any combat tricks to back up your attack. Because if I do have a trick that I'm considering using, I'm so much more likely to use it. So more so for the and it was hard for me to follow along some of the more advanced videos like Channel Fireball, uh, Newmont. These guys, their target audience are experienced players. So because Lingering Phantom can kind of recur and absorb a lot of the damage. So This is funny. Do we attack here? I think we don't. Like I almost want to trade this card somehow, but then I can't really cast Particle Wonder and get it back because I don't have 7 mana. So I think the play is like he was down to 1 card, so he's not even attacking. Maybe he's waiting until he gets a historic card he can discard to get. Is completely unnecessary. So I still think we going Shivan Fire and Sanctum Spirit now, but like by some random historic spell that he's holding. So as a general rule in Magic, because I got a candle and why not? So so if you try, I guess okay. Clearly, it was a mistake to run a blood tallow candle. Now I could have used it to bring back my Skin Witch. Especially if I have a Shivan Fire. I guess I wanted to have an effect that can deal 5 damage on the board. That's what I was thinking because he had a X5 creature that he could have blocked with. But it's kind of stupid because it's so obvious it's all better. So I could go Radiating Lightning. I can now I have attacks with Howling Golem and Lawnmower. and get in with Wonder and Journey Mage. Lands are Joseph S. Next turn, because my opponent's so far behind at 6 life. It's a 4/5 menace. All right, my opponent's sending me a message. We're gonna do some more shameless self promotion. All right, so let's just go. Go attack with everything. All right, so all right, let's go to game two. To make the claim that our deck is strong simply based on this win because game one, our opponent was his plan was to go elf into the elf flame druid, the one that makes two. Elf, I think that's the right name of it. Then you have access to up to 4 mana if you're kicking a spell, right? And 3 mana if you're not. So that was actually a reasonable 1 land keep, but we got lucky with the Shiv. So yes, I really don't want to go to 5. I do not want to go to 5. I think this is a super risky keep, but like with a fungal infection and hit it land. Uh, Skinwich, I guess. 50-50. I see what he's doing. He wants to tap my land. So I had the recording paused for a little bit. Sorry about that. So basically, under removal, he keeps I was kind of mana screwed. I missed two land drops. I kept the one lander, and I've recovered. But he's been keeping one of my lands tapped down every turn. Put a swamp and a vicious offering in my hand, and I'm going to put Caligo Skin, which is something I may bring back with a soul salvage. I think it's important for me to get lands right now. I need to catch up to my opponents. Two Death Bloom Ballads and a Candle. So we have not seen any blue cards from opponent, by the way. Right. So in that case, we can. That we're so close that we can still wait. So I think we just go like, all right, let's go tap down, and then we have a fungal. and continue attacking. Let's see what he does. Both on top. All right, that's scary. Should I save Sheevan Fire? Would rather use. See, like, okay, this is a decision. Like, do we use Sheevan Fire or Fire Intervention now? One school of thought says, well, we should just use Sheevan Fire because Fire Intervention deals 5, whereas Sheevan Fire also deals 4. But one's sorcery speed, one's instant speed. And what we're about to do here, just to get some attacks in, is essentially use instant speed spell, which can be very powerful at sorcery speed, which is kind of moot. So I think, given that we have a Get to Journey Mage, given sorry, not Get to Journey Mage, the 1/3 that brings back a spell. I keep getting these guys mixed up. So I think, given that we have that to bring back removal, and given that we have Fight with Fire and the Blood Tallow Candle, and let's just attack here. He's got to have a syncopate. Like, at this point, I don't care because I'm drawing a Fight with Fire, and I have a Soul Salvage to bring Varys back. But he's the only possible thing my opponent can have in his hand are his off-color cards that he can't play because he somehow made a mistake. Yeah. All right. So that's fine. And my opponent doesn't know that I have a Soul Salvage, but they certainly played around it in the way that they what they killed and what they froze. It's not a coincidence. So I guess we want to wait some Fight with Fire, which could just at some point. Let's go. Actually, why not? Why don't we go? No, let's go. We'll find out right now. But that's the game of Magic. So what do we do here? You've got zero cards in hand. Let's just go. I guess let's attack. My opponent just got like ridiculously flooded. He had so 11, 12, 13. So he's got maybe like four, maybe five lands left. Yeah, because for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why he's got so many. All right. So what's the sideboard plan? Final Infection, Vicious Offering. So a lot of removal. So any X ones that we have should really go. I don't think we have any, but we'll double check. He's got one. He's got a couple of flyers and maybe some historic team with Cabal Paladin. I'm not sure. So I don't think. Do we have any X ones? We do not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Given what he saw, I'm tempted to bring in Serial Abomination for, let's say, for what? Um, Still want to play Targ. I do want to play Dark Bargain. I want to make room for this card. All right, I'm gonna take out one Skin Witch in favor of this stupid 5/5. The reason I'm putting it in is because while 4/4, I'm not sure what my opponent's trying to do, but we discard here. Guess a fungal infection. Yeah, I think it makes more sense. Give this -1, minus. He might have his own fungal infection actually. Death give a -2 to a creature. Most of the time, it was just removal. Uh, plays Icy Manipulate again and starts stopping my lands down. It, it's gonna be hard. Not Fine. We can, but I don't want to. I don't want to waste a vicious offering. All right, opponent found icy manipulator. So just equip palette soothsayer. And Varix. Skin which is going. It's just yeah. I have removal. Lands down. So to discard a card here unless I play Candle and Howling Golem. Or no. So yeah, I have 8 cards now. So if this gets bounced, I'm gonna have 9. I would need to make, yeah, 2 plays not to discard. maybe the opponent will just throw a sapling. That's what he's thinking right now. He killed my sapling token. I kind of don't get what happened there, but okay. So now, I guess Sheevan Fire. Let's let it resolve. So I think Partic Wonder and a Sheevan Fire because Sheevan Fire I can get back with Chronicler, and at the end of the day, Partic Wonder is just gonna hit Icy Manipulator. What's the alternative? I discard two removal spells and keep my stupid 6/6. What's better, Vicious Offering or Partic Wonder? Fight with fire. I guess. All right. I guess I could always. Yeah, I really don't want fire. And let's make sure we turn off auto yields. We didn't really see anything in this. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, deep freeze and icy manipulator. And try to get in with everything. Um, by the way, if you're ever casting fight with fire against the white deck, you have to you have to play around charge. So what can I get in here with? I don't care. I'm not going to use candle. Whatever. Let's kill this Sphinx. we won that game. Looking pretty good. Like if we can go 6-0, that would be pretty sick. That happens quite rarely, actually. I mean, it's hard enough to 3-1, but if you somehow manage to win every single game, then you should really take note of whatever deck you had, uh, and yeah, so pretty happy going into game three. Actually, I can opponent want to kill Sean so because well, no, let's get green black. So I'd rather just becomes a 4-4, and it's then I need to then it's going to be harder to deal with. So it's better to get rid of it now. Valid dice. You're still trading a. You're still do. It's still a 1-for-1. Like opponent traded a card and you traded a card. Only advantage is that your opponent's card is 1 mana cheaper than yours, but you still get a 1-1 out of the deal. So it's really not that bad at all. I think and, they get hit with a combat trick. But what really happened here? Like we didn't even take any damage. Like if Juggernaut had trample somehow, or okay, and look, I'm getting too hypothetical. Our opponent didn't even have anything, right? But let's say he did. Let's say he had a Adamant Well, and then Juggernaut would still be on the table with the Yargle, and our Deathbloom Ballad would be dead. It's not the end of the world. Um, in fact, you could argue that it's even better for us because if our opponent has to keep a combat check just to keep Juggernaut alive, if he doesn't want to trade it down for a Deathbloom Ballad, then your opponent's used up mana on his turn, and it's less likely that he'll be able to develop the board. So we need to get Yargle off